everyone, and welcome to this. I have to run to the shop. Welcome to this session, MakeCode for Microbit.
Yeah.
We're going to be coding today, and today we're going to be coding. I don't know if you've seen these around. There we go. You know what this is?
You see if it's flat.
You see if it's flat. It's a level, and we use that. We use that when we build things so that they're not squiggled and things are flat. You see the bubble here moves. So we're going to try to build that in the microbit using the accelerometer, the same sensor we use to measure shake and stuff like that. So we'll keep that around so that we can test that our level actually works. Let's keep that in the hardware section. All right, so you're in the MakeCode for Microbit session, and we're going to be using the website called makecode.microbit.org. You can do that in your browser. You don't need the hardware to do the activity. You can follow along and then use the simulator. If you're watching this on YouTube, right-click 2 times on the video and select picture-in-picture, and you'll be able to tag along. So we're going to scroll down to the tools section because we got a tutorial on how to build that thing. Level. Yeah, you like my drawing?
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh? All right, is the table flat?
Okay.
That's the question of the day, and we're going to build a microbit to figure that out. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Let's start with that. We're going to make a variable x, and then we'll store acceleration x in a forever loop. So instead of using an event today, what we're going to do is we're going to actually read the sensor data.
Okay. So should I make the variable?
Yeah, make the variable.
Easy variable.
Let's go x, and we're going to set it to in the forever loop. I don't think we need on start. You can get rid of it. Maybe zoom in a bit. Now, go to the simulator and move left and right. So if you see when you put the mouse on the left and the microbit is kind of tilted to the left, see the value of AX is minus 1023, and now it's 1023. And this value represents the force that is going on the microbit. So if you hand me the microbit, I got this beautiful force here. Let's see. Here we go. So we got the microbit, and at all times, you've got the gravity, that keeps us stuck to the ground. But if you tilt it, then gravity starts to be aligned with the x values of the microbit. So if I tilt it, then gravity is aligned, and gravity is always 1, and these are milli-g's, so they are milligravities. So there's 3 different axes, and that's how this accelerometer is measuring forces. So if we know that the microbit is not moving, then we know that there's at any point of time 1 gravity applied to it, because we're on Earth, and we're not floating around, so gravity is still there.
Yeah.
The day you start floating, something wrong happened. So the microbit can measure both tilted left and right. But also we're going to look at the other way, which is the y direction. So let's take a look at that. So we're going to create a new variable.
Easy.
And we're going to add that to make another variable and store the acceleration y value. Okay. So it's kind of the same thing here. Go in input. So now we're reading the value straight from the sensor, and it gives us milligravities. Now if you play with getting at the bottom, see AY is 1023 down and minus 1000. So that's the way it's oriented. So if you think about holding the microbit like this,
the area of the microbit is
it's like
4,000.
It's like you're pushing the microbit and you're tilting it when you move your mouse. And that tells you now the orientation of the forces. So if I hold my microbit flat and I tilt it forward, what's happening is my gravity is aligned. My beautiful gravity pen is aligned with the microbit,
The pushing.
and that's why I get a positive value over y. If I tilt it the other way, all the way around, then it's going backwards. Okay. So we kind of got an idea of how this works.
I got it. It's 1023. 1023.
Yeah. And what we're going to try to do is figure out if the microbit is flat. So what does flat mean?
Like flat.
So flat, if you look at here now, flat is 0, 0. It's like as close as possible to 0, 0, right?
Yeah.
The closer it's going to be to 0, 0, well, the flatter it's going to be, right? Anytime it's going to start tilting, because if it's perfectly flat, then, you know, imagine gravity is just going straight through, and it's aligned over the last dimension, which we don't see, which
It's
is
perfectly flat.
z. There's one more, which is z. But we're not going to use that one.
Add a code to test if the absolute values.
All right, so if the color, so we know it's the if.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what an absolute value is?
It's like
Some kind of a math.
positive.
Yeah, it takes a value and it just removes the sign in front of it.
Yeah. Sounds complicated, but it's not.
Oh, we're gonna keep it on the workspace. That's good. Let's collect what we need.
Then what do you do?
We're gonna need x too. So let's keep x.
And in there.
Yeah, and we're gonna need greater than.
I can just grab
And we
this.
take one of those, and we're just gonna change the operator. Greater than. Now we need to say if the absolute value of x is greater than 32. So put the absolute value on the left hand side. And now why did I pick 32 and not 0? You know?
I don't know.
Yeah. So sensors are not perfect. So even if you don't move, they have a little bit of jiggle, and they're not 100% precise. So we're gonna give ourselves a little bit of room and say, you know, if it's close to 32 out of 1,000.
How close I am.
Yeah, well, that's a simulator. That's not the real thing. Okay, and let's,
18 and 18.
there we go.
15 and 29.
And again, what absolute values does is, if x is like minus 16, absolute value makes it
16.
16. So we know it's not going to be a negative number.
Add another test. If the absolute value of y is greater than 32.
So we know it's tilting left. So let's add a show icon and let's draw that it's tilting left.
Oh
Or
yeah.
right.
Oh yeah, we missed something. Show icon.
And we just, or you know, we could show LED or whatever. How about we draw it?
Yeah, how about we draw it?
Oh, we can't. Okay,
okay.
show icon. We're in tutorial and we don't have access to blocks. Let's do maybe a frowny.
How about this?
Silly. Let's go. All right. Let's go and try that on the hardware. So, Emil, you're going to go and do the
Download procedure.
download procedure. Our regular assistant is having breakfast, so I'll take over that.
Yep. Yeah, I think I need to do it again. Okay, are you plugged in?
Yeah, I'm plugged in. Microbit drive.
Save.
Save. We're switching to the image. It is
Flickering.
It is flickering.
Flicker.
And I got my trusty level here just in case,
Yeah.
making sure everything's flat. Okay. It's always, okay, so I think there's a problem here. We don't clear the screen. So see, I have it flat on the table here. But I moved it a tiny bit and it became tilted. So maybe, well, that's a good start. Let's keep going. It seems that it's working. Maybe too much.
Yeah. So should we up this value?
Let's keep going. Let's see what else do we have to do.
Add another test if. Oh yeah, why? So I can just. Okay.
Or you know what? There's a plus on this. So how about you delete this?
Smart.
And you can chain those, and you do one more plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. If else, then. All right. So now we're gonna do kind of the same thing.
What we could do?
Yeah. So we need a greater than. I'm going to put it there. And now what else? Absolute value of y.
Is it gonna duplicate everything?
No, just a block. Absolute value of y. Very nice use of duplicate. And it's greater than 32. That's kind of the same. And what do? We show another icon. You're really into duplication today.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Meh. There we go.
Cool.
It's not flat.
One more step.
Code under the else will run if both acceleration. Okay, so now we're doing else.
And now this is the case where it's flat. So we need to show something happy. Yeah, check mark is pretty good.
X. Because we like that.
Yeah. All right, let's try it in a simulator. So, and now try to get in the center. Yeah, it works. And then let's try it for real, because maybe 32 is way too sensible.
Oh, crap.
Is there something else? Download. All right, let's do the download dance.
Download.
I'm going back to the station.
Run.
And then Control-Shift-4.
Control-Shift-4.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
We are down. We're switching to the image. All right, so this is our level. And I'm flat here, check marked. I move to the left, and you see the weird, these icons are really hard. This is what, and I'm going back to flat, and then if I twist forward, X. Ooh, it's pretty useful. You know, this is the pros, and this is the microbit version, right? Which
Oh, yeah.
of course is way stylish, way more stylish,
I
and
know.
this is building a level.
Should we finish?
Let's finish and let's make it better.
Yeah, let's make it better. First, this has to go down to 30 because we need to make it harder.
32 wasn't too bad.
Doesn't matter. We're doing useless changes.
Well, okay, so here's a thing here's a thing I wanted to do. It doesn't tell us which way it's tilted because we use absolute value. So maybe we can add more cases and separate whether we know it's left side or right side or up or down. And then we can do drawings like that. We could actually draw maybe like a little bubble of sort.
Okay. So how do we do that?
Okay, so let's think about it. So we've kind of lumped two cases in here because we use absolute value. So maybe we don't use absolute value and we differentiate when x is very negative and x is very positive. So what we could do is keep adding pluses.
Okay.
Let's see. So for example, if you want to split this case in two, you're going to have to handle the case where x is greater than 30 and x is smaller than minus 30. Mind blown?
Pretty.
Let me show you the. Can you go to the camera? I'm going to show you the number scale. So you've got your number scale here. Let's see if I'm on the image.
A number line?
That's
Yeah,
your gravity. That's x. No. Okay. And then you've got
It's a number line?
Like 1,000 here. And you've got -1,000.
23.
And this is when your microbit is tilted on the left, right? And this is when your microbit is tilted on the other side. And then this is when it's flat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And we've decided that right here we've got 32, and this is going to be what?
Like, I don't know. 50?
Minus 32.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Now, how do we call this area?
Positive and negative.
The positives and the negatives, but in terms of math, we're going to say that here x is greater than what?
X is greater than, oh my gosh, it's like math in school. X is greater than
Hint, hint, hint.
32.
32, yes, great job. Now, what about here? X is going to be, think about temperatures. It's going to be very cold.
Then negative 32.
It's going to be what?
Smaller than negative 32.
And by doing so, you've actually solved the code you need.
Okay.
There's two cases. One case where x is greater than 32, and one case where x is less than 32. And in this case, we know it's tilting left. So we want to draw left. In this case, we know it's tilting right. This is right. And this is left. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You could do a drawing that's like maybe a line on the left.
Okay, we could do an arrow.
Or we could do an arrow.
I'll just still.
Yeah, there's arrows in the thing. All right, let's go back to the editor and figure that out.
Here, show LEDs. I took out all the show icons. Oh, yep.
Wait.
I took out all the show icons, and so first we do.
So let's change the condition because we still have absolute value. Yeah, I think if you leave that one out, hold on, take that one out, and then take the double one, second one, no, here. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a pretty good arrow. All right, so remember the paper. I'm gonna bring the paper back. That's are my notes. Here we go. We're doing this case. X greater than 32. Now this has to be the same as what you get in your code here. So we need to change that. So so let's take it all out. The condition.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't want the absolute value.
So I can
You
add-
want x. Again, remember, you're doing the left side. The left side is this, which is x less than 32, minus 32. So you have to write that in code now.
So put X.
X less than
32 or 30?
minus 32. If you look at the paper, it's written right there. Can you
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, you're doing the 30. Okay. The next case would be
I can do 32.
the next case would be x greater than 32. For case number 2, x greater than 32. And this is going to be an arrow going the other way around.
Oh, wait, don't we have to do Y?
Now we're just considering
X.
x. Y is going to be similar. So this means we're tilting which side?
Like that? No, okay, like that.
Like that. So the arrow is going to go
That way.
that way. Okay, let's draw the arrow. No, you keep that. That arrow is already there. We're working on the next case.
Oh, yeah. duplicate it?
Yeah. And flip it around. Okay.
There you go.
There we go. We can test that with the simulator. Hey. That's pretty good.
Okay. Looks weird.
Maybe you're right. We should actually invert it. Tell the person where they have to go.
Yeah.
So let's switch the two drawings. Let's try again. Yeah, now it tells you, hey, move right, move left. This is pretty good. And then eventually, well, we kind of destroyed the code. So yeah, I think you've removed all the code. Okay, let's handle y. And y is kind of the same idea, but using the y variables.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the first case is going to be, okay, y is greater than 0. So y, when y is positive, it's tilting downward.
Oh, it's greater than 32.
So you want an arrow going up.
Duplicate?
Yeah. There's a block to draw arrows, but it's fun to draw them.
Yeah. You should have arrows in your show icon.
Yeah, if you I think, scroll down. More. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, whatever.
Okay. And then we're going
And
to put this over here. Do we have to add another one?
yeah, you want to do the case where y is negative. So that's going to be y is less than what? Minus 32, yes. And in that case, it's pointing the other way around. Okay, let's test that. So left. Yeah, so left gets precedence in this thing. You first need to get it flat on the left. And if you're perfect on the left, it looks at up and right. Which, you know, we could maybe improve that, but it's good enough for now. All right, I think we're missing one case, which is when it's flat.
When it's flat. Else.
Else. There we go.
You can just do an icon.
I would do just maybe, how about a dot in the center?
Ooh.
No, show string is going to be annoying.
Okay. Boom.
Boom. Or about the whole center full, so you can clearly see it. One LED might just not be enough. All right, let's try it. You can download it, Emil.
Yep.
Control Shift 4. And it's flashing, so we're gonna see that for real here. So I'm flat, and oh, I'm tilted, and then the micro:bit is telling me to turn the other way. That's pretty good. Turn the other way. Turn up, turn down. It's a pretty cool little tool, and I can unplug it, and then I can use that in all my little projects in the house. Like, is the table flat? Yep, it's flat. No, it's not flat, or you know, things like that. So you can, got someone in your family is a handyman or handy woman, can propose this new brilliant tool.
The MakeCode.
The level. And this is the final code for the level. We've improved it a bit by adding more cases and showing where things are.
It's big because of all the drawings.
It's big of all the drawings, yeah. All right, let's share it to show how we share this. So to share, you click on the share button top left, and it's going to create a unique URL that you can share with your teacher or your parents or your students. And that's going to be a great project name. And once you're ready, you hit Publish Project. And you get this link, and this link you can send it.
Go play with it.
Or store it anywhere, and then that's the way we're going to share the program. If you don't want to use this, you can also import the .hex file that we drop into the microbit. And then if we copy that, that is our project. That's ready to go, and someone else can edit it. If you click on edit, you're back into the editor. All right, and that concludes this session where we built the level. And yeah, we can zoom a lot on the blocks. It's very fun. Woo-hoo.
It's like a magnifying glass.
Okay, and this is all for
Also-
today. Have a good day, people, and see you for another episode of the MakeCode for Microbit series.